Coach Brian Morehouse, Francesca Buchanan, and Jacqueline Schwark. If you could begin with an opening statement, Coach.
Credit to Thomas Moore and Coach Hands on a great game. I thought it would take a great team to knock us out, and I thought that they played great tonight. And so credit to him. I take the blame. If I'm going to get the credit, I'm going to take the blame. And I don't think I didn't coach us up well enough. I didn't. We didn't play well enough, and it was because of the coach. So don't blame it on a bunch of 18 to 21-year-olds. Blame it on a guy that's been here, done that, and should have done a better job making adjustments during the game. And so our kids gave everything that they had. I mean, they laid it on the line all year long. I don't think too many people last October were picking Hope College to go 29-2, and that doesn't take away the sting of being this close to a Final Four. But I think if you look at our body of work, as Coach Hands said, and I talked about before the game, it's a shame that we keep meeting before the Final Four because we feel like we both have two Final Four worthy teams. And so just a quick note about our seniors. It was an amazing year, and it was in large part because of our leadership of our captains, and specifically just our seniors, Heather Randall, Vanessa Freeberg, Jackie Schwark, and Madison Gears. The things that they did behind the scenes to make us great, the things that they did just in front of the team to lead us into good practices and right the ship when everything was going wrong. One of the strongest senior leadership groups I've ever had in our basketball program. Those women will go on to do great things in their lives and continue to impact people outside of basketball as leaders. And so just a quick word of tribute to them because of the great leadership that they showed this year for our season.
Coach, I mean, you guys shot a better percentage than they did. You guys, the rebounding was pretty close to even. And obviously, it was two really good teams going at it. But what was it specifically that kept them just a little bit arm's length?
Well, I mean, they made a lot of threes. They made a high percentage of threes. And credit to 4 and 11 for stepping up because those kids were 7 for 12 tonight. And I thought every time we got close or we got on a run, they would get a pin-in screen and they would get a kid with an open three. And I think that the other part, was they just shot it at a high percentage, and I think turnovers were a big part of the game. We had turnovers that led to layups, and you can't guard layups. And we can usually turn people over, and they put 3 or 4 really good ball handlers on the court, and we couldn't get them turned over. And good scheme by Thomas Moore, good players with good skill sets that we couldn't turn over, but we couldn't get any easy baskets off of turnovers.
Frankie and Jackie, can you just kind of try to put it into perspective? I know it just happened, but obviously it stings. But you guys had such a tremendous year. How do you balance, kind of the emotions of finishing the way that it finished?
It's tough, obviously. We're losing a lot of really great seniors that I've played with the past 3 years, and that's really, really difficult. But the run that we made was a fantastic run with a 29 and 2 season. That's amazing. No one expected that except for this team. We've been so inward bound that we believed in ourselves, and that's all we needed this season was to believe in ourselves. And we made it to the Elite Eight. That's a tremendous thing, and people are going to remember that.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with everything Frankie said. It was a great run. Great. Couldn't have asked for better teammates to make it with all season long. Just made it a joy to come to practice. But it's tough to lose, and we had big dreams, obviously, for this year. So to go out at 8, obviously, isn't what we wanted, but I'm sure looking back, it'll feel a lot better than it does right now.
You guys said that you guys both made a point, you and Frank and Coach, of saying nobody expected this team to be where they were. What was it that elevated or that meshed together for you guys to put this all together?
That like inward bound that we had, we made sure that we didn't focus on the crowd. We made sure that we didn't focus on the people who maybe doubted us or had hope. We knew what we were going to do. We were going to have a great season. We were going to work our butts off no matter what. I think it was just that like inner circle of energy and just pure just fun that we were going to have this season that made it all worth it and kind of like kept us going.
Yeah, we had so many pieces to the puzzle, and we had fun playing together. Mm-hmm. And when you have good team chemistry and a lot of talent, and you work hard, good things happen.
Mm-hmm. Coach,
Yeah, I would point, as I did in my opening statement, to our leadership. I thought for example, these two coming up here in the toughest interview that you can do, you see their composure. They're absolutely crying and dying inside right now, and yet they sit up here, heads held high, and speak clearly in their probably one of the most difficult times that they've ever experienced in their life. And when things were tough in practice, when things, when we had young kids that had a tough day or a tough week, these two, as you can see by their poise and their maturity, would just rally around them and allow younger players to be confident. And there are teams where they try to squash young players because they protect their own playing time. I mean, Jackie Schwark didn't have to live into Mallory Gerber, Ashley Thomas, and Olivia Bosco, and yet every day she's in there teaching. I mean, it was like we're coaching, and then she would pull them aside and teach them the real way to do it. And she'd teach them all the cheating things to do, the shortcuts to get to the spots. Same thing with Frankie, and Frankie's going to benefit from playing with them another year. But, I mean, Jackie could have held back on that and gotten more playing time, or they wouldn't have improved as much as quickly as what they did. And yet, Jackie is 100% about the team. Honestly, one of the best energy leaders, outwardly focused kids that I've ever coached. She came here with 0 promises, 0. And every year she made herself into a better and better player. And when we recruited her, we knew that she was a good player, and we hoped that she would develop. We had no idea that there was this whole other layer of leadership, compassion, maturity, unselfishness, and this is going to hurt, and she's going to carry this with her, but somebody's going to hire the best math teacher in Michigan, and they're going to give her a chance to coach, and then they're going to realize, not just in the classroom, but also outside of the classroom as she's leading whatever things that she's leading. It could be athletically, it could be within the school system. They're going to realize just how special this kid is. And I can't say thank you enough. I mean, she made me look really good all year long because of on the court things, but also off the court stuff. Drama-free, year. I mean, I'm sure there's stuff that always goes on, and yet these two as captains, along with Vic Swift and Madison Gears, I mean, if there was trouble, they took care of it. And as a coach, they allowed me to coach. They allowed me to make mistakes. They allowed me to take chances. And this team helped me develop as a coach this year tremendously. We've never done some of the stuff that we did this year as far as subbing, as far as playing different lineups, and it was all because of the confidence that our captains infused in our coaching staff.
Thank you, guys. Congratulations on a great
Thanks.
season. Thank you.
Okay. We don't have space for anything else, so that's all we're waiting.
Let's see where it is.
Because there's like five things. Yeah.
head coach Jeff Hands, Taylor Jolly, Madison Temple, and Abby Owings. Coach, congratulations, and if you could begin with an opening statement.
Thanks, Alan. Just very proud of our players, of our team, of our fans, our community, to come up here and help create an environment like this. I mean, and Hope College with that atmosphere, and for us to be able to pull out a victory over a very good program and a very good team and well coached and by Coach Morehouse, it's unbelievable. A lot of resiliency from our guys, up in the first half, down in the first half, tied at halftime, and then just kept plugging away in the second half, in the third quarter. And I think the and one by Emily Schultz and the 3 by Madison, that was kind of icing on the cake for us a little bit, they would say, and just gave us a little bit more breathing room. And but we defended, and I think the one thing we didn't do was turn it over the second half. We had 10 at halftime, and for the second half, we took care of the basketball better, a little bit more composure on the offensive end, while still scrambling around and defending like we needed to, and making them take tough shots.
Coach Morehouse was telling us that you guys had a conversation that it's a shame you guys keep meeting before the Final Four, because you guys are both perennially Final Four teams, and the past 2 years has been a perfect example. Just what is that like, as a Division III coach, knowing that can happen and that you almost have to play a second Final Four as far as talent based on the region?
It's tough. I mean, you look at this region with us, Hope, DePaul, Trine, I mean, in the national rankings, and then, right there in the regional rankings, and then Rose-Hulman is ranked as well. Ohio Northern ranked in national polls as well. It's a gauntlet to get out of it. And, our location for the first weekend helps us with some of the southern teams to get over there. So we were fortunate enough that we didn't have some of the Great Lakes region or the Central region, because it's just such a strong area for Division III women's basketball. And, to come out of it, it's like winning a championship, and, you survive and advance.
You guys, obviously, they kind of spoiled your season last year. You guys got a little bit of you turned the tables on them a little bit this year. Just what was that like, remembering back to how that happened last year, and I guess how motivating was it and gratifying this time around?
Well, I definitely think that we were young last year, a little inexperienced, and I think that got to us in the game. They're a good team, and we had great fans there, but we still weren't, fully experienced enough, just to pull out a win. And they had a lot of good players back then. So our goal this year is obviously to get back to the championship game, but we wanted to play Hope again to have a chance to redeem ourselves after last year's loss, and getting a win here meant a lot to us.
Taylor, you talk about your defense, and you guys obviously kept them in check, and they're really in the second half.
Were you talking about her individual defense? We don't talk about Taylor. We don't talk about Taylor Jones'
really nice
individual defense very often. I'm not going to lie to you.
But just collectively, you guys as a group really did a good job, not really letting some of their top players get going from the start. Just talk about what you saw and what you guys felt that you did so well defensively.
Well, we just take our defense in increments. Like every practice, we do a score, stop, score drill, and I think that is what we just had a mentality every single time was score, stop, score. Like help. We were really, really, really pushed in the middle of the season, helping each other, keeping people out of the paint. I know every team wants to keep people out of the paint, but once we help in the paint, someone else moves to the next person. You just keep helping, and help, I think, it's really picked up since the middle of the season. Our defense has, and we come together and we work as a team to stop teams, and then we score on the opposite end, which we were doing really well in the second half.
And have you talked a little bit about your guys' three-point shooting? It seems like you didn't necessarily have a ton, but they all came at big times, and just kind of kept them at an arm's length. How were you guys able to just keep finding those at the right time?
I think it was all about composure. In the first half, I think we were just kind of jacking them up there and praying they were going in, and obviously that didn't work out. So, we just got our feet set, had confidence, and knocked them down, and made some pretty big threes there in the second half.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank
Luck
you.
in Rochester.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you so much.
Thanks, everything.
Can we take this? Can we take it? I'll leave it.